So, it's another ripper outside, and we're back in the shop. So, today we got the 5.7. Last time we tore down this 4.6, and we'll get into what we're going to do with this thing probably next video. This one we're gonna focus on tearing this guy down and doing what we need to make this more of a reliable block and setup that I don't have to worry about for a good many years. So, let's get the camera over here, focus on this thing, and look at what we're doing today. All right, so it's go time on this Hemi. Let's get cracking on it. All right, let me tell you what. They have so many different types of lock clips. It is ridiculous. So like there's so many different ones of the pull the red thing, press the pin, squeeze the outside, squeeze the top side. They need to kind of pick one design and go with it. That way you know what you're doing every time you click it, but I guess. Anyways, we got that guy off. Now I guess it's time to yoink the intake off. Hopefully this is as easy as it sounds. Alright, so basically, if you want to do cam, lifters, MDS, delete, whatever, you need to remove these heads because the lifters are underneath them. So, you want to start with your rocker rails. Then you want to set those guys aside. Then take all your push rods out. If you are keeping your lifters and just changing your cam, you should probably mark down which one these guys come out of, so that way they wear on the exact same spot and you're not causing any extra issues. But I'm going all new lifters on this because I have no idea where this guy is sitting. So we're just gonna do them all. The couple $100, 500 I guess if you get the good ones, 600 if you don't shop around. But figure since I'm in there, may as well change as much as I can. And away we go. Not too bad. I'm gonna hit any of these surfaces with a fogging oil. Mainly because this is an iron block, so things can rust. And the negative is it's cold out here, so when you heat things up, moisture tends to precipitate onto your metal objects. So, luminate down doesn't hurt a thing. Guess now it's accessory time. Gotta strip that down to the front. All right, I'm gonna pull out the lifters. All right, so all of our lifters came out. They're looking halfway decent. This guy, this second one in here, looks like a little bit of chattering across it. Then this guy right in the middle here, got a little weird trail on there. This one looks great. That one looks great. This one over here try to get that guy up in here. There we go. See this thing. It's got like that little line through it. So, all in all, not horrible. Don't have to worry about metal being shoved through the whole engine. That's positive. All right, then on this side, we just got this guy that's got one of those streaks in it. Come on, focus in. This guy has troubles focusing. Focus. It's got a streak. And the one that I don't really like, this guy here. You can kind of see it's got only a little bit of shiny coating left. The rest is kind of dull on that side. Just that tiny little strip of shiny coating. That could be weird. So we need to take a look at the cam, get that thing out of there, see what that thing looks like. Okay. Well, that certainly was fun. All right. So, looking at the cam. This first lobe, not terrible. Second lobe, little bit of wearing right on the tip. Third lobe, not the worst I've ever seen. Fourth lobe, that dude is chewed up. Next lobe, not bad. That one, not bad. That one, a little bit. Next one, really bad. This one, not terrible. Not terrible. Really bad. Not terrible. Not terrible. Not terrible. Not terrible. Last one, kind of bad. All right, so that cam shows that we have pre-issues with the cam going out, lifters going out, and things eating other things. So that then runs you down to the whole question, why are all these things eating it? But then the question gets more interesting when you'll notice that this guy is not an MDS lifter, but it was the one that had the worst surface. It's like it's missing its hardening heat treat. So this guy's been eating something fierce. So it's not exactly everything to do with MDS, but MDS doesn't really help it. Yay. Okay, now I usually take the approach of don't look at your cam bearings, but unfortunately I looked at my cam bearing. Now I have to replace it. So that sucks. Like most people say, never look at your cam bearings because they're always going to be bad. But if you don't look at them, you don't know that they're bad. So then you can just send it. All right. Let's pull up a chair and discuss the old Hemi here. While for the most part, they're pretty decent engines, they do have plenty of issues, and I am surprised Dodge has managed to dodge these problems for so long. But let's just go down the history of people trying to figure out what really is going on with these things, and then maybe figure out what the answer is. So anyways, I made some notes. Hopefully I can get through this pretty quick. I'm kind of a slow talker, but maybe I can speed it up a little bit. But anyways, as you can tell from the cam, we had a lot of worn out lobes, and most of them were the AFM MDS lifters. And a lot of people then go and say, well, that's because of the whole MDS. So we need to turn off MDS. We need to always run the vehicle without MDS. And then everything's fixed, right? Well, as you can tell, one of our worst ones was actually a non-MDS lifter. So that's not the whole answer. Next person kind of came up with, well, hey, since we got these things wearing out, like you saw with the cam bearing up here, that's kind of worn out. So maybe we're not getting enough oil volume to work the MDS and the VVT cam and make sure we have enough lube going around. So then we need to throw a bigger oil pump on there. Something from like the Hellcats, because you know Hellcats don't have much problems, do they? Well, who knows? Not too many people are putting 200,000 miles on their Hellcat. But that's kind of somewhat down the right direction. People have found decent progress with that, and they got the peace of mind that it's fine. But as you can tell here, this was a 100% perfectly running engine. There's a video of it running before I bought it. Verified numbers and such that I got the same thing that I did pay for. So then that leads you to the thing of, well, what's going on? You don't know if something's wrecked. It might actually be wrecked, and you might be wrecking everything else. So that's kind of an issue. So what are we going to do to try to fix it? Well, we are getting rid of the MDS. So we don't have those actuators, we won't have those lifters. Some of the issue that people were having after they deactivated MDS was they found out that these MDS lifters don't get the full amount of oil until you activate MDS. So that's a problem. So some people have been disabling MDS, but then creating a profile that fires MDS for a little bit every so often, no matter what you're doing, and you don't really realize that it's doing that. So someone's been monkeying around in a tune for that, but I think that's kind of a poor solution. So we are killing off MDS. That's step one. Step two, we are going to get more oil running through this thing with a high volume oil pump. So that's step two. And step three, this is kind of the theory that a lot of people have been throwing around that might have a little something to do with it. Since these tend to wear out faster in vehicles that idle for a long time. Initially they thought it was MDS because MDS doesn't fire under idle, which might be some of it. But some of it might be because the cam gets splashed from oil from down below as the engine's rotating. So if you have a really low idle, because we know everybody loves to put super low idle, so she runs at what, 600 RPMs, keeps your emissions low, but what's it doing for the oiling? So there's been quite a few people that have been advocating for bumping up some idle speed, so that way you get a little more splash onto the old camshaft. So I think we'll somewhat be going down that lane as well. I have really thought about just going through up on this valley pan, just drilling some holes and putting like little oil squirters in there and plumbing it in on the pressure side. But I think we should be able to forego that. I'm thinking the most ideal operation is I just replace all this stuff, upgrade all those items, and put that in that big L700. That's not probably going to get 200,000 miles on it while I'm driving it. I mean, we might put some good miles on it, but I don't think we're going to daily that thing across country. So hopefully between all of that stuff, we'll have a longer lasting engine, and who knows, most of these things do actually last for 200,000 miles. So we might get another 100, 150,000 out of this thing. Anyways, I believe that's everything I have on my paper. Pretty much. So we got some new lifters gonna go in this thing. They're the Hellcat lifters. They're kind of all that they sell anymore for those non-AFM, non-MDS, whatever you want to call them. So we got them. Active displacement gone. What am I going to call it? AFM? That's active fuel management. Remove anything dealing with AFM out of there. MDS or DOD is the Chevy's term for it. So that's what we're talking about. Changing displacement or turning off cylinders, however you want to view it. Anyways, I guess that's going to be good enough for today. I'm going to go through and kind of clean this thing up a little bit, get her ready for some new cam bearings. Of course, I got to get new cam bearings and put them in here. Doesn't sound like super fun, but we'll shove it into here and get her done. So anyways, guys, thanks for stopping by and watching. Hopefully you're subscribed so you can see this thing. We might be working on the 4.6 again soon as well. So stay tuned. We got more engines coming through, and then hopefully we can shove these in some trucks. We can load these trucks up and we can go have some fun somewhere. Anyways, that's it for me today. Thanks for stopping by and watching. We'll see you around later.